Yay Networks.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Spill the Beans podcast.
Today we're coming at you live from the studio with an update. Dun dun dun. If you watched last week's episode, we actually talked about a seafood boil story, and we literally didn't get the full story, so we're spreading chismes because we didn't get the full story.
My friend and I have already been planning to eat seafood forever. She flaked 4 times already. It's like half of already, but I can't find this. I'm assuming it just ends at already.
So here is the full story, straight from the DMs.
So apparently, if the thing runs out, it like continues on DMs or something like that. I don't know. Continued already this last time. She hit me up planning to go for yesterday. We agreed to a time around noon. She asked to push till 1:30 to clean her house. At 1:40, she texted me if she can still go. Mind you, I'm starving myself. And I said yes. She asked about transportation, whether we meet there or she picks up. My car's broken right now. There's like 5 minutes in between time, so I'm like, never mind, I'm on my way to the seafood place. She then asked if I want her address, so I clarify about meeting there. No answer. I gave her the benefit of the doubt and got there. I texted her, where you at, and called her 3 times, no answer. No answer. Time is now 2:10. We live 15 minutes away from it. I texted her to let me know and send her 2 more texts. She then asked where I was, obviously the place in the lot. And she asked, all confused. I then lost my patience and asked if I said I was leaving and blocked her because she still wasn't replying. She messaged me on Insta about blocking her. I told her it wasn't the first time and it's been about 3 and still no update. I was actually still in the lot, but I was so upset. I just said I just left, but knew if she still took long to show up, I wasn't going to enjoy eating with her. Am I the asshole for doing that? P.S. I'm a Gemini and I hate unstructured days and timing and people being inconsiderate. That is crazy, girl. Okay, that changes everything. Your friend, air quotes, that's messed up. I wouldn't consider that a friend. Because real friends are honest with themselves and are like, hey, girl, like, hectic day. The house is messy. I can't make it.
Yeah, but I feel like also, like, something in her made her feel guilty. So she's like, oh, if I just, like, tell her yes at this time, but then keep pushing it, like, she'll know that at least I'm trying to make it, you know? Like, I think the communication on her part wasn't the best. So
that's girl math, babe.
Yeah, and we're girls.
Yeah, why do girls do that? Why can't you just be straight up? Like, hey, can't make it today. Okay, thanks for appreciating my time. And
yeah, I feel like she was just kind of, like, stuck between two because she's like, oh my god, am I gonna cancel again, or should I just keep pushing it and pushing it and pushing it and see if I can make it without communicating, like, fully? So regardless, like, I feel like whatever she would have done, it would have still hurt your friendship because it would have already been the 4th time or the 3rd time that she canceled plans on the same day that you're gonna do it. So yeah, it was just, like, really poor communication on her part. And to be honest, like, if you can't hang out with me, like, just say it, right? Like, yeah. Don't say yes and then cancel and then say yes.
And she also said that was the 3rd time.
Yeah, so I feel like it was just really poor communication, and it could have all been avoided if the first time she was just like, hey, you know what, these next couple of weeks are going to be busy. How about we schedule something out for next month so we can go eat seafood boil, you know?
Little update. We love giving you guys updates because we don't want, maybe you went your whole week being like, damn.
No, I think this is a good update because you know how like if you're in a fight with someone and you say something and then you only give them like a short snippet of the story and then así se hacen los chismes, you know? So I feel like that's how we were. We just started a chisme because we started being like, well, what if this or what if that? Now we got the full story, girl. So please cut the chismes off.
Imagine the girl, like, obviously this was anonymous, but she also watches Spill the Beans. And then she's like, I definitely know this is my friend. I'm going to message mine. Like, but I told her that I was busy and that I would try to, you know, like,
dude, message us if there's another perspective and we'll, what is it? We'll settle the beef on this Spill the Beans podcast. But
even
anyways,
if you're not the friend, just message and like start, you know, a random person.
Just pretend. But anyways, guys, yeah, that was the update. I hope you guys are able to sleep good at night because I wasn't last week. I was like, what could it have been? But anyways, today we have another episode of reading your anonymous confessions. It was so funny because last week we put send in your am I the asshole anonymous stories, and then a girl messages, she's like, can you please send confessions because I need to get some things off my chest. I'm like, period, girl, we got you. So today we're doing anonymous confessions from our followers, except in this episode we will be saying your username.
Oh, damn.
He's not even paying attention to me. That's why I said it.
These are juicy. Ready?
All right.
We'll start from the very beginning, guys. Ready? I am secretly not starting to like my suegra.
Damn. So what do you do?
I think what I would do, you diagnose the problem right away. Okay, why do I not like her anymore? Like, ¿qué está haciendo que me cae bien mal? Is it the way she constantly anda chismeando? Maybe she gives me dirty looks or me tira indirectas, you know, stuff like that. And then I would try to address that with your husband, see if there can, because what a lot of people, I've heard this, I heard this when I first, married Blanca or when I got with her. And the saying goes, like, I would tell you this, remember? I would tell you this. I would be like, babe, I married you and not your family, right? Because, you're the type of person that looks after your family a lot, and then that would kind of involve me. And I was very immature and younger, so I didn't really I had a very if I never had to help or take care of my family, why do I have to do it with you, type of mentality, which now I think that's very bad. But let's just, for the sake of story. So I always used to tell you, babe, I married you, not your family. But then I think that's dumb because, yeah, it's partially true. But at the end of the day, that family is with them for the rest of their life. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I married you, but your family does come with you, especially family members that do have a good relationship. Like, you love your mother immensely and you have a bond that till this day I'm trying to understand because it's just something that I never really understood.
You never experienced.
I never experienced or understood. So it's like, yeah, I love my mom and we had a good bond and everything, but Blanca's on another level. Like, she cuddles up with her mom and talks about her day mientras le hace piojitos, you know? And then se chismean ahí comadres all night up until, and then they go downstairs and then they eat their dinner, their cookies and their coffee, and then they chismear más. And then they go back upstairs, they shower Belen together, holding hands. But no, granted, yeah, I'm making fun of it and teasing, but they have such a beautiful full relationship. My bestie. She's her bestie. So what I'm trying to say is that you're not gonna, not that I compete with her mom, but I know she's always gonna be there. So what I'm trying to say is, after this long rant, is try your best to try to get along with your suegra. Yeah. I know maybe 3 years ago, Spill the Beans us. This is where our frontal lobe develops and we mature as a podcast and as a little family that we've created here in Spill the Beans. 3 years ago, we would have been ay, pues manda la fregada, or
cut them off.
Well, you cut them off. You married him, not your suegra, you know? But it's we want you guys to have la boda de los 25 años. We want you guys to live a happily ever after with one person, right? That's what marriage is for. So it's try to get along with your suegra.
Yeah. And yeah, I guess what Jonathan's trying to get at is whether you have a good relationship or a bad one, they're always going to be there. You cannot change the person that birthed your partner. And what better than to have a good relationship? We're not saying, be buddies, be besties, be this. No, but it's at least have a cordial relationship where when you see each other, it's not tense. It's oh, hi, how are you? Because I feel it's really unhealthy to be married to someone and you don't like their in-laws. Not because it's unhealthy with you guys, but say your partner really loves his mom and they have a good relationship. That kind of puts a strain on it because obviously you have to choose your partner before your family, so he's gonna be kind of stuck in the middle. It's gonna create some tension. So Jonathan said, kind of address it with your partner and tell him hey, have you noticed that your mom does this and this is really starting to tick me off. This is really starting to leave a bad taste in my mouth. And then if he oh yeah, babe, I totally have picked up on that, then it's his responsibility to kind of talk to his mom about it. But yeah, I feel the first thing right away is try to fix whatever the problem is and try to talk and kind of have a healthy relationship with your in-laws, because that they're always going to be there. And once you start having kids, you want your kids to have both of their grandparents, and it's just nice to have a happy family, And
another thing that I just came up with right now, a quote is if you are starting to dislike someone, it's because you're spending too much time with them. Does that make sense?
That's true.
You never dislike someone if you don't spend enough time around them to dislike them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you first start a new job, you kind of like everyone that works there. As time goes by, you hate that freaking annoying coworker. Why? Because you're spending time. So what I'm trying to say is like if your parents, like if your mom and sisters didn't live with us the way, like, you know, I don't live with my parents, then I don't think there would, because I feel like you don't have enough time to not like my mom. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't like, if you know, I mean, I love your mom, but like what I'm trying to say is that, are you seeing them every weekend? Like for this girl, are you seeing them every weekend? Is your husband like making you go over like every other day? Like, is there has to be like mucha convivencia for you to say, I'm starting not to like my suegra.
Yeah, like the girl that said that they go over every Sunday and that she just wants to have a peaceful Sunday at home by herself. I totally understand that, because I'm like thinking about it. Even when your parents lived with us for like 2 months, there was never a time when I was like, oh my God, I'm really starting to know, you know, like it's just, it's just different. Like everyone's situation is different, and we would really advice for you to talk to your partner about it, because maybe he is seeing it like, oh, maybe my mom's saying some things that she shouldn't be saying to my wife, you know, or maybe we're spending all of our Saturdays with them and we want to kind of do a date night, you know. So yeah, definitely, it's like, it sounds so cliche, but it really is all about communication, and communicate with your husband so that he can communicate with his family, because then you start saying some things and it can get worse, girl. Yeah. Why are you smiling?
No, the next one was kind of like, it ended. I was like, oh, what's so bad? And then you see the continued part, and it was like, oh, bomb drop.
Oh, sheesh. Yeah. Okay, confession time. Is it bad if I told my husband it was going to be my first time the night of our wedding, but it wasn't?
Yeah, so but it wasn't was on the second part, and I was like,
You know what I have to say about this, or about many secrets that you might be keeping from your spouse? It comes out to light. Like eventually any secret, any little whatever, even the whitest lie comes to light. And
why are they called white lies?
Because they're not harmful.
Yeah, why aren't they called black? That's messed up. Or a little brown lie. No, it's white.
It's like the white brown
Mando,
noise.
You're interrupting the podcast, bro. Just kidding. I'll answer you in a bit, Mando.
Why is it called a white lie?
No, it's just like obviously white, like peace, like you know. But I'm just saying.
That's so funny. But yeah, literally the whitest of lies, the most like, oh, this is never. It comes to light. So when you're getting married, guys, it's a huge transition. And I remember this. I don't know if you remember, babe, but the night that we got engaged, we got home, obviously we were so happy, blah blah blah, and Jonathan sat me down and he's like, babe, like I need to talk to you. And I was like, what do you have to say? And then you told me that I have
such bad memory. I'm like, what is it gonna be?
You told me that your friends took you to that one club the night before. So the night before my party, Jonathan was gone all night, all day, and I was like, where the hell is this man? You know,
the engagement party, right?
The
engagement. Yeah. Okay,
so it was my 21st birthday party.
So I randomly went out, not randomly. Okay, so I randomly went out with my friends to go eat that day. I don't know, there was a reason, but it wasn't for like. But okay, point is, we went to go eat at a restaurant, Bad Daddy's, I think, in the mall, and we had like a couple of drinks, and then that's when I told all my friends, I was like, hey, I'm planning to propose tomorrow at this party. That's why I really want you guys there. So no se hubiera dicho más. Obviously, what do guy friends do? Dude, it's like they took it as like my like little mini bachelorette or whatever, bachelor party. So then like, we gotta go. So we didn't even go to no like nothing crazy, no strip club. It was like the way I could explain it, it's like a place that serves food, but like the girls are like, you know, like topless or whatever. So then I just felt so dirty, and I was like, babe, I need to tell you something. Just because, you know, you view marriage so sacred and stuff like that. So yeah, they come out whether your partner tells you or not.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like the night before, or the night that we got engaged, Jonathan like sat me down on the bed and he's like, baby, like I just have to tell you this, because granted, like I know I'm not buddies with his friends, and they don't have girlfriends that are my friends. So maybe it possibly could have never came out, right, that he had gone there. But he was like, fuck, like if it ever does, like it could potentially lead to a divorce. Like if I would have found that out later, I would have been like, dude, that is so fucked up. Like, why wouldn't you tell me, you know? So that's the thing. Like, when you lie to your husband, it sounds funny, but it could eventually probably lead to your divorce, you know, because you feel like lies can be so dirty up in that area. So you never know how he would feel. So I would definitely say like,
and I feel like what's the reason you lied for?
Yeah.
Because nowadays it's very unlikely that people are like, it's sad to say, but people are like each
Saving
other's
them.
first.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to marriage. So then, like, was he truly like a virgin, and you didn't want to be like the, well, I'm not type of deal, you know?
Yeah.
Or like, was it out of like, I don't know, like there was a reason that you did it, and why did you do it?
Yeah, and also I feel like you're probably thinking, I don't want to ruin this, like it's the night before our wedding or something like that. But it's like, do you want to get it over with now, or do you want to wait for it to eventually come out one day? You know, unless, I mean, like I really would not encourage you to lie to your husband, but I'm not even gonna say it because then I'll get canceled. Because I was like, what if it really will never come out? But no, that's just me. You know?
Yeah. I don't know, girls. I heard this thing that said, babe, and I'm scared. Girls cheat just as much as men. They just don't get caught.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, guys, can we talk about this? It was so funny because we watched La Platica, obviously, and their clips come up on TikTok. And the clip of Josh Leba getting cheated on came up. And, well, it was so funny because I was just like chilling in the bedroom, and Jonathan busts open the bathroom door. He's like, babe, if Josh Leva could get cheated on, I don't trust you anymore. And I was like, what are you talking about? And then like he showed me the clip, and then we digested it, and then found out it was like a high school girlfriend, you know? I'm like, damn.
Yeah, I was like, if my boy Josh, you know, muscular 6'2", really funny, got cheated on, I was like, ain't no one safe. It's just like the thing where like Beyonce and Jennifer Lopez, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. In high school, I stole homecoming money from the PE locker rooms to buy gifts for Christmas. I regret it. I stole about $450.
What the hell?
That's a lot of money.
You smartness, girl.
No, that's so bad.
That is so crazy.
First of all, like, I don't expect anyone from college below to get me anything for Christmas.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
I don't expect any, like, if you're not living in your own place and you have a stable job, I don't expect a gift from you.
Absolutely.
So neither should your family, your cut. So why would you have to steal? Like, I understand maybe you're that type of girl. You're like, oh, I love to give gifts. I love to, you know, like feel like I got it and I can get my little brother something. But at the end of the day, girl, like, I don't know. It makes me feel sad for you. The fact that you felt such necessity to like give people gifts. Maybe you were truly trying to make, and if it was like that, then I mean, stealing is not good in any shape, way, or form. Yeah. But at least you didn't say I stole money just to buy myself weed or like a new purse. And plus, like
if you think about it, I probably your conscience is like super heavy, and you're like, I have to get this out. But then again, like you were a high schooler, and what can we expect from high schoolers? You know, like some.
But you never know what money you stole from. Like, what is high school money? Like homecoming money? I mean,
probably like for the homecoming dance. Oh, damn. Did you ever steal any money? Have you ever stolen money from anybody?
Yeah, when I was like really little. Remember I told you that I didn't steal it. Like that summer I would go to Mexico. I was about like 9 or 10, and for some reason I slept in my aunt's room, and she had like her little makeup, and then in the makeup box she had like money, like her little savings. And as a kid, I never was like, I'm gonna steal this. I would just see it there, and I was like, oh, the ball at the toy store cost 20 pesos. Let me grab this blue thing. And then again, and then every day I would just get money until she noticed. And then my grandma yelled and like slapped me, and I was like, "Oh damn! I guess I was stealing this whole time." But I don't know. As a little kid, you don't see like.
Goodness.
I can truthfully say I was never sneaking around. I wasn't like I'm gonna wait for her to leave the house and then go. No, I would if she was in there while I like had the idea, I probably would have done it in front of her.
Oh damn! You know? I don't think I've ever stolen money. Have I?
I have found money on the floor in the parking lot, and I'll return it though. I did that once. I felt really bad afterwards.
Oh. Okay, ready? This one's a little juicy, girl. I got a couple questions. Me and my fiance haven't had sex in 4 years, and I pretend we do when me and my girlfriends talk.
What the 4 years?
Okay, my thing is, are you saving yourself for marriage or what's going on here, girl?
Or are you like wait, fiance? So you're still kind of like in the loving.
But like, what if she's saving herself for marriage vibes? You know?
Yeah, girl, you need to DM us with that.
Yeah, please give me some context because you haven't had sex in 4 years, which means that you had sex before and then you just haven't had it in 4 years. We need a little more context, girl. But I mean, forget the lying to your girlfriends. You do whatever you want when you talk to your girlfriends, but we need to dissect this a little bit more because
what's going on?
Yeah.
Maybe you guys are the perfect match of two people that don't have any libido.
Or, well, because she says we haven't had
Girl,
sex
this
in
is
4
bad
years.
because you might be like confessing this in the sense from like you trying to be like, confessing, but I can guarantee you there is no guy, straight or gay, that is going 4 years without ejaculating. I'll tell you that right now. So
Oh, damn it.
he's getting his due somewhere.
Yeah, that's scary.
And that's just human nature. I'm sorry. Like, if you're not a priest or a Buddha, something monk, you got to get your thing out. So
There's some questioning that is happening right now. Like, what? That's crazy.
ooh, bad girl. I did a deed with my boyfriend in a fitting room.
Ew.
Bad girl.
Babe, why would you say it like that?
Because it's like she, in her head, that's like the worst thing ever. But that's like, that's you and me on a Tuesday. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Anyways.
We can't risk going to jail. To get back at my ex for cheating, I got with his brother. And yes, he found out. That's
crazy.
Like, you took it to another level, but because you potentially you potentially ruined a family for life.
Yeah.
Because as a brother, you're like, hey, you don't love me enough to not get with like my ex. Like,
yeah.
No matter how.
Like, forget your revenge. Like that.
Yeah, as a brother, that's kind of weird. So you
that was his decision
you potentially ruin Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's for a mom. So
not exactly hurt either. Like, the brother had a lot to do with it too. He could have been like, no, what the hell? You're my brother's ex.
No, I know, but she still was the woman involved. So what I'm saying is, yes, it's very much the brother's fault, 50%.
Yeah, but
like,
she's a reason.
But like this girl, like think about the mom. Like, she'll probably never have her two kids in the same room again. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. That's crazy, girl.
Or maybe you thought you were getting revenge, but then I know guys, like we guys, once we don't like a girl anymore, it's like, oh, we're Eskimo bros now. Like, bro, like, Eskimo bros? That's like a guy that, two guys that have had sex with the same girls, they're called Eskimo bros.
Ew.
So they could be like laughing in your face about it type thing. Like, I was never planning on getting with you regardless. So yeah, I let my brother hit it, whatever,
So like now they're laughing at it?
Yeah, now they're laughing at you.
True.
Because the guy's like, maybe the brother even showed the brother was like, hey, and then the brother's like, go for it. I'm not gonna get back with her. Like,
oh, damn.
Now you're the laughing stock of the.
There's a lot of possibilities from this story, but if you feel good, girl, period. My boyfriend doesn't satisfy me in bed. I love him and remain loyal to him, but I've never been this unsatisfied with a partner before. It's big, pero de qué sirve si no la usa bien.
Oh my God.
This is an easy fix though, girl. Honestly, like, yeah, communication. And there's like a lot of, what does it say? Like, there's a lot of things that you can explore. And the good thing is, like, when you're talking to your partner about sex, it shouldn't be like cringy because you guys are partners, so you're just gonna tell him like in the nicest way, or when like in a funny way, like, babe, can you do this, or like, you want to try this position, because that is such an easy fix. And like, I personally don't think that when you are unsatisfied sexually with a partner, it means that you should leave them or break up, because that is, in my eyes, a easy fix.
Yeah, that's easy.
Like, just communicate, tell him like, hey, we should do this, or we should try this. There's so, like, come on, there's so many positions, there's so many things you can incorporate. Like, don't think about it. Just like
the rhythm of things, like the way you get into it, like, and maybe that's a good problem to have. Like, you at least know your man hasn't been around, like he's not like, obviously if he's not satisfied, he's not doing nothing crazy. So maybe you're his, like, he never had someone to teach him. So you go ahead and, you got a little student to teach. So
a little student.
You have like someone to mold into what you want.
Yeah, so don't like overthink in a sense where, oh my God, like he doesn't satisfy me. Like, just be like, okay, he doesn't satisfy me. Let's see what's going on. Let's talk. Let's try and fix it. Give us an update, girl, in a month from now, please.
I feel like every time, like, this one's like so funny to me because I feel like we get these. We never do these often, but when we do, there's always one like this. Yeah. Long ago, boyfriend and I snuck into a random building too. Finger and hole emoji. Next day saw it was a church.
Oh, hell no, girl. You're going straight to hell. Just
I don't know about that. That's weird.
Wait, how wouldn't you know,
at a
though?
church, people lie. People probably like see other people and talk shit in their head. So it's like the thing I saw the other day, Sewun, right? I have never read the Bible fully. I can't. Don't quote me on things, but I saw that Jesus and God view all punishment, all sins the same. You know what I mean?
So there's not like a big or worse or sin?
Yeah, there's no big or worse. That's what I understood from this podcast I watched. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. But so if I'm at church and I see, right, because we hear these like in testimonies when I would go to la oración, like say I'm in church and I see this like attractive woman with like a short dress, y me le quedo mirando, and I start to have thoughts. That's no different than someone else having sex in the basement of the church. Does that make sense?
Also, like every sin is a sin, period. Like it's not like, oh,
I know there's like immortal sins, right? Los pecados mortales, like abortion and suicide, apparently, stuff like that.
I didn't know that.
Right, according to them guys.
I need to start reading the Bible because that seems interesting.
You know, the Bible's the #1 read book ever and sold and done everything. So it's like and people that actually start to read it, because there's like versions that are not boring, like the whole like thy shalt, no, it's like normal English.
Yeah, that's the one I'm gonna buy.
So then I guess it's like very like nice, because like sometimes it's like, you know, when very bad comparison, but you know when you're having like a bad day and you just like get attracted to horoscopes and you're like, oh, let me go to Gemini today and see what's going on, and then it just happens to be like, today you will not have a good day because the sun is peeing on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but in a much cleaner and righteous way, the Bible could serve something like that. Like, let's say you're struggling with something and you just happen to pass the right passage because God decided to put it there for you. So I really want to get into it. It's just, the problem I have right now is like those versions where like, I'm telling you, it's more easier English. Does that take away from like, you know?
I feel like God
It's
would
like
be
como
happy.
si yo te platicara algo en español. Algo pasó en español, and then you tell your white friend, you do miss some like flavor in there.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
I feel like God would be happy regardless. Like, you know, he's reading the Bible, period. Because like you're reading the Bible in the sense that you're at least like getting the information of how it happened. But like if you're not reading it at all, then you don't really know, you know?
It's just, I saw this thing where like when Adam and Eve ate the apple,
That story baffles me to this day.
God was like, as soon as it happens, like they could hear like thunder and like God like yelling and screaming like, where are you? Mm-hmm. But like not in a like where are you? Like I can't find you. Like where are you? Like I've lost you. Like the way George, he used to be on Impulsive and he got kicked out because he talked too much about God. Anyways, good for him. You know, he's like, you can feel so much emotion when you read the Bible. It's like if you lost your kid at the flea market and esa desesperación, like, where are you? That's like how God was yelling because he knew he had lost like his kids forever.
You know what baffles me is I saw a TikTok about that story to Adam and Eve, and that like as soon as she ate the apple or whatever, he's like, because of this, like I will make your birth the most painful thing that you go through, and like all of this. I'm like, it's your fault that we have to go through this shit, girl. But yeah, I would love to get into the Bible, guys. That sounds really good.
Yeah, let us know. Give us any recommendations about like the versions you guys have.
Yeah,
like
maybe one that's juicy, like the real one, and not one that's just like super plain and like just gives you the information, you know. This one says, I've always had a huge crush on my cousin's ex-husband, and if I pursued him, he would probably go for it, but I couldn't do that to my cousin. Plus, the whole pueblo would find out. Yeah, I feel like that's icky vibes, you know? Like, there's so many men in this world, girl. Just find yourself your own man, not someone that your family has already knows.
Yeah. If it's meant to be, it will be meant to be. Maybe you'll run away. You'll run into each other some other way.
Or like in a few years from now, you know?
Yeah.
Pero
si pasan las telenovelas todo el tiempo, porque like, you know how the main guy starts off with the rich, bad cousin, and then the poor cousin moves in from the pueblito, and then he falls in love with her.
I love those novelas.
That's not icky, cuando las está viendo, ¿verdad?
Pues sí, pero cuando me pasa, imagine.
Am I the asshole for low-key disliking my suegros? I love my husband, but his family is a little bit too much. They are the complete opposite of mine, and I know that they talk shit about me, but they would never admit it. I've mentioned this to my husband before, and he doesn't deny it, but he also doesn't know if it's true. Why do they talk shit about you, girl?
What's going on?
Tú eres la que viene a la casa con la cara toda fodorra y like a resting bitch face. You know, I love guys. If you have not gotten this by now,
ever give your chisme to Jonathan. He's gonna.
I love to play devil's advocate. Okay, no, I'm with you, girl. But I just love. Me gusta dar la contraria, ¿sí o no?
Sí. No te gusta, te encanta. That's literally
So I'm
he
just saying,
lives
like,
by that.
yo me pongo luego, like, whatever I'm reading, I go to the opposite. I'm like, okay, ¿por qué no te cae bien? Eres la que nomás viene y nomás se sienta ahí y no le sirve el plato y nomás, you know what I mean? So it's like, but there are suegros that just the simple fact que eres la esposa de su hijo, I like, nos cae mal. We're going to talk, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I know my family, my suegros talk, you know, not shit about me, but I know sometimes they be saying funny stuff about me.
Like
you know?
what?
Like how they went to my suegros just went to this new restaurant right here in Longmont, and my suegra this morning, that's why she's cool, because it was like they were talking about me, but she'll tell me to my face, you know. So she was like, yeah, like nos gustó mucho la comida, pero tenemos que traer a Jonathan porque si a él no le gusta, no pasó el restaurante.
Yeah.
Because they know I'm really picky with my restaurants, and like I'm a very hard food critic, right?
You're a hard person to please.
So I like that she said that. I'm like, you know what, like. So I know they talk about me sometimes. You know, I like. Did you see Jonathan? This, you know, like. You know. back then, like, you know.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, that's a funny thing with my mom. Like, if she talks about you or like says something funny, she tells you. Like, if she talks about me, she tells me straight up, and she doesn't say in a mean way. She's like, no, pues fíjate, like you know, she puts her little spice. But yeah, I think. Damn, I don't know, babe. Because, like, what would you do in that situation if I tell you, like, oh, I think your family's talking shit, but, like, you're like, well, I don't know if they are talking shit.
Yeah, it's because there's no way to confirm it. Because if the husband were to, like, get all riled up and go talk to his family, no, nosotros no hemos, you know?
And, like, that could potentially, like, cause...
And also, like, why are you... Like, you say, I know they're talking shit
how do you know?
How do you know?
Who's the source? Who's the inside source?
Is there, like, another, like, tú tienes una tía que se toparon en el bingo y luego le dijo, hey, ¿sabes que tu sobrina me... You know?
Yeah, and you know what? Like, what I think, and I've told this to my mom a lot before, too. I don't know, she was telling me a story. And then she said, like... What was it? It was such a good story, too.
I'll come back to you, hon.
Yeah. Well, like... My thing is, if they're not telling it to you straight up, and if you know, like you said, I know they'll never admit it, just go about your life thinking that they don't talk shit about you. Because unless it's coming from a source, like say your sister-in-law tells you like, hey, my parents have been talking smack about you, or they've said it to your face, or they've said it like indirectas vibes, then that's when you start like being like, hey, like I really don't like your parents talking about me like that. But if you can't prove it, they'll never admit it. If you're not getting it from an inside source, just go by your life thinking that they don't.
Or what if this girl, babe, you know the saying que nos dicen, ¿cómo traerás la conciencia? What if she thinks they're talking shit because she knows she's not acting, like I said at the beginning, dándote la contraria, like she knows she's not acting right.
Yeah. Like maybe she's done some shady things and you're like, oh, they're probably talking shit about that.
Or maybe it could be your own husband, el que te está dilatando.
Yeah.
Like, ay, sí, es que María, no, fíjate, man, no me echa lonche, and like she doesn't, you know.
Yeah, like sometimes I just think like what you don't know doesn't hurt you vibes, you know? So it's like if you really can't admit it or if you really can't prove it, just go like literally go by your life in la la land. Like, I'll just like keep being the person you are to them. If you're nice, if you're good, treat them good. Like don't damage your relationship over something that you don't even know it's 1,000% true and you can't prove, you know, because then that could just cause problems between you and your husband and then between your husband and his parents. And that's a can of worms you don't want to open, girl.
My friends with benefits and I had a foursome with the parents of someone I went to high school with. I'm 33 and they're in their 50s.
Oh my God, girl, you are crazy.
Hey, you got to live life.
I have nothing to say about that. No answer.
Oh, she gave a little update right
Yeah, I know.
She ended it with helps them financially, but before they were different with him. Ooh, so before he started giving them money, they weren't
with him?
With the same vibes. That's a little tricky.
Yeah. But like we said, like we probably sound like broken records and it's so cliche, but you have to communicate with your husband. Like you have to tell him, even if it's gonna maybe cause a fight between you two, because that's way better than like you bottling it up so much, you know. Like you can just literally sit down with him and be like, hey, like I really don't like that your parents have been treating you this way, when before you started helping them financially they weren't like that, you know, because that's something that has a solution to it too. Sex
after having a baby has been so much better.
Period,
you know what,
queen. Oh my God, what are you gonna say?
I was literally gonna agree with her. And I think it's not that something happened like with you or with me that it could just started feeling better. I just feel like as time goes by, like how we communicate and stuff, I really can't remember our sex life before, like when we were single, like
can't either.
no babies, like in the car and stuff, because it was so like, can we say like caveman, like I don't think I think I did worry a little bit about your pleasure here and there, but it was more like to get like a quick, whatever. No, not like that. Like I feel like I've always cared about you, but I was very like, oh, I'm gonna go as fast as I can, and like what type of thing. So now that I feel like I feel like now our intercourse is more memorable.
It's more significant.
Yeah, I don't know how to describe it. Because, when we were young, 5 times in a day and like back to back, and like it could be described as more crazy.
Family watches this podcast.
No, but you know what I mean? We're spilling the beans here.
Oh, no,
it's
no,
like,
no, honey.
But now it's like, I don't know. I don't remember
I don't remember our sex life before babies either. And I feel like it's also so beautiful because you like know what it creates, like we have these beautiful, healthy, amazing, intelligent children.
Maybe that's why God tells you to wait till marriage. Because how many kids do you throw away before you have a kid? Does that make sense?
What do you mean throw away?
Like you don't have.
Oh.
You throw away in a condom is what I'm trying to say.
Before you have kids? I don't understand
do you understand that? Okay, let's just give like a random number. Say we had sex 1,000 times before Franco, right? Mm-hmm. That's 1,000 Francos in a different shape, way, or form that we could have had. Like that could have been brought into this life. Does that make sense? And like, how we think of Franco as like so unique, so special, so like replicable, but like he's 1,000th ejaculation. Does that make sense? Like that isn't that
no
weird
sense to me. Please don't tell me that, because then it's gonna fry my brain. But no. But I guess like
what's so difficult about that? I'm telling you that.
I guess what you mean is...
And the fact that Franco wasn't even... What baffles me is that Franco wasn't even planned. So he was like just like the pre-cum. Like he wasn't even like, okay, we're trying, here goes the whole thing. It was like a slip...
Slip up?
¿Cómo se dice?
Chiripiada?
No, ¿cómo le dice mi mamá a Isaac? Chispotón.
Un chispotón.
Like that. So like, you never know, like, like the time before we had sex with Franco could have been a different version of Franco. Maybe a kid that would have cried more at night. Maybe a kid that wouldn't have been so funny, but just maybe special in a different way. You know what I mean? Isn't that crazy to think?
Yeah. And I feel like now that I have 2 kids, I think about it so much. Like, why wouldn't you want to have more kids? Just to see what they look like, to see what they're gonna come out like. That's what I literally told you. Their personality. But now it's like, damn, that shit's scary too. Like
now that we have a boy and a girl, it's like, what you could be asking yourself, what more do you want? Ya tienen la parejita. Everyone says, ya tienen la parejita, blah, blah. But then you're like, I'm picking Franco because Franco's older and his facial features are more set in. But it's like, I would want to have another boy to see how he looks like. Would he look like more brown and chubby like me?
Or would he be like, I don't know, like what would his voice sound like? Yeah. Oh.
How would his hair, like, would he have sick ass hair like Franco does,
Yeah, guys, actually, if you have made it this far to the middle, I think we're going to do a confession of our own. So
okay, we'll end it with a confession of our own.
Oh, dun dun dun. So, a few days ago, Miss over here had a pregnancy scare. I took a pregnancy test because I was kind of scared. I feel like a week ago, I kind of spotted a little bit, and I was like, oh, hell no. This better not be my period, because I didn't get my period with Franco until he was like 9 months postpartum. And so I was like, if it's on my period, then why am I spotting a little bit? Am I bleeding? Am I pregnant? And then I spotted, and then I started getting nauseous, and then I started getting a little bit like me daba asco, and I was super tired and like a little bit, so. And
the morning before you did the pregnancy test, you're like, se me antojó esto or something.
Oh,
like that.
yeah.
Or no se me antojó.
Se me antojó una tortilla de harina. And then Jonathan's like, ¿se te antojó?
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck, like I cannot be pregnant, not even 3 months postpartum.
Because Blanca's a tortilla de maíz girl, you guys. She will eat tortilla de maíz every morning with her eggs. Not una tortilla. So I'm trying to emphasize, Like, why?
Like, I would never choose a tortilla de harina over a tortilla de maíz. Yeah. And we had both. So Jonathan was a little taken aback by that. So then I was like, oh, look, like, I'm probably pregnant. No, this can't happen. I'm 3 months postpartum. Like, that would be freaking crazy. Like, Belen would barely be a year old when this baby would be born. So yeah, one day my mom and I are at Target and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna fucking buy a pregnancy test. And I told her and she was like, you're freaking crazy. But she's like, it's not impossible. I got pregnant 6 months postpartum. I'm like, okay, period, queen. So anyways, yeah, we came home. I took the pregnancy test. I cannot tell you, like, I don't know if you'd noticed that I got home and like I didn't do anything. Like, I went straight upstairs. And I'm pretty sure like Jonathan was like, oh damn, she really had to pee, right? But no, like I grabbed the box and ran upstairs. And
I was in the bathroom with Franco, so I didn't.
Oh,
right?
No, you were holding Belen. And then you took him to the bathroom to shower him. But yeah, it was probably the worst 5 minutes of my life, like anticipating this pregnancy test, because like I knew, like, regardless if we were to get pregnant again, I don't think I would be sad, but it would be really shocking.
Low key, I was kind of like happy.
Yeah, it'd be a little bit shocking, but like like if you're, but this one was crazy because like there's no way, right? Because we've been super
that's
comfortable.
What I was trying to say. Like,
I mean, comfortable.
It's so
super
funny how scared
careful.
you get for something that can't be possible. You know what I mean? Yeah,
but can be like, if we're not gonna go into details, girl. But anyways,
no, let's go into detail, guys. So basically,
but anyways, yeah, I took the pregnancy test. It took 5 minutes to show up, and it said not pregnant. I pranked my mom and Jonathan. I was like, I literally walked up. You pranked
your mom?
Yeah. She's like, I know dónde están mis lentes, and all she could read was pregnant. And she's like, ¿Estás embarazada? And I was like, no, I said not. And then Jonathan was already crying before I even read the pregnancy test.
I wasn't crying. I right away put my hands in my face and I just stayed there for like a good.
What were you thinking?
I was like, oh my God. Like, but then it's funny, like emotions are like a roller coaster. I felt like I was in that movie Inside Out. Like, as soon as I was really scared, but then when I read not pregnant, I was like, I didn't feel relief. Like, I was like, oh, it's kind of like, you know,
what the hell?
I was more sad for like, oh, Belen, like, you know, like we're not gonna enjoy her.
Yeah, that's what made me really sad.
That's what made me sad, if you were, but not the fact that we're having
another kid. Yeah,
I'll never be sad for another baby.
No, I think just the timing would be really bad. But yeah, guys, so we had a pregnancy scare, and I'm kind of glad that we did, in a sense, because it like really puts into perspective, like, oh shit, like, do we want another one? What would happen if we were pregnant? But also, it's just like, damn, like the woman's body is just crazy in that sense, and the fact that you can get pregnant while you're just 2 months postpartum is insane. So that was a little confession, girl. We almost got pregnant again, and they would have been born literally in the same time frame. Literally, because we've gotten pregnant every May,
and that's what freaked us out even more. We're like, it always happens like around this time. I don't know why my sperm just are freaking, you know,
strong. But yeah, guys, we had a pregnancy scare. Yeah, las dejamos. Hopefully we don't have any more. Not me being tired on the podcast. Is this boring? But right, guys. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast, and I hope you guys enjoyed, you know, getting your cleaning your conscience. You know, I feel like that's what a lot of people do. It's like, oh yeah, sabe alguien. Gutter. Yeah. So let us know what other type of podcast you want to hear. If you want to do more, if you want us to do more of my The Asshole Stories or more confessions, or like what kind of juice are you guys looking for? You know, what kind of spice do you want us to add in? Because we have a lot of toxic stories, but I feel like the more we have, like the more years we put under our belt, I like start forgetting them, you know? So let us know in the comments. Comment down below. Without further ado, we'll see you in the next podcast.
Love you. Bye.
Yay Networks.